Back again, guys. So welcome back to my kitchen. We are going to get into some lusciousness, okay? And what I mean by that is everybody's favorite mac and cheese. Today we're making a 7 cheese mac and cheese, okay? How many cheese? 7. So we have some Swiss cheese, some shredded Parmesan, some extra sharp cheddar. We have some New York sharp cheddar. We have a blend of mozzarella and Parmesan cheese. And we're gonna blend it all up and make it extra decadent. To start, we're gonna boil off our noodles. For this recipe, you just need 1 pound of pasta noodles. You can use the traditional macaroni noodles, but for this, I'm doing the rotini. Again, any pasta that you enjoy, just make sure it's 1 pound that you're using. I pre-boiled my noodles just for the sake of time. The rotini took about 8 to 10 minutes to boil, and I use super salty water. We always talk about building flavor, and that's essential to making amazing macaroni and cheese. You must ensure that you flavor your noodles. So into your boiling water, you're gonna add a good amount of your kosher salt to the water, and you'll boil off of your pasta. And once it's done, you drain it, but make sure you taste it. It should be super yummy to eat. Like this pasta, I could literally add some butter to and a little bit of black pepper, and this could be a meal all in itself. So that's because we added flavor to that boiling water. So that's essential when you're doing your mac and cheese, your pasta salads, as well as making your potato salad and your mashed potatoes. You want to build that flavor in your boiling water. So from here, we're going to make a roux. Now, a roux is really simple. It's equal parts fat and flour. Today, we're going to use butter. And again, I'm all for using salted butter because that's just an additional element of flavor added in to your dish, where you don't have to use all that extra salt in the end result, or as you're making your sauce. As you know, cheese is already salty. However, you still need to flavor your mac and cheese. Some people put onion powder, some people put garlic powder, all different types of spices into their mac and cheese. I'm more of a traditional type girl. I want to literally taste the cheese. I want to taste the sharpness, the richness, and the depth of all the cheeses, and not garlic powder or onion powder or any of those things. There's no, slight to anybody who may do that, but I just make mine a little different. And again, y'all love it, so it's proven. So we're gonna jump in over at the stove, and we're gonna start on our roux. So for our roux, we're gonna use a half stick of salted butter. So a half stick is equal to a half cup. And then we're going to use 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. And you don't want cake flour for this. You don't want self-rising flour for this. You want to make sure that it's all-purpose flour. And the reason being is self-rising flour and all cake flour, they have leavening agents in them. Cake flour also has cornstarch in it. So you want to be sure that you're using all-purpose flour, because it's just simply flour, because you don't want like a puffy mess to explode literally in your pot. We don't want that. We don't want any messes or mishaps in the kitchen. So to the stove we go. Our butter has melted down, so again, you want to be sure that your butter is completely melted down, and we're going to add our flour to it, and we're going to whisk And my mama would kill me if she knew that I was using this metal whisk in this good pot, but that's okay. So we're gonna whisk it down until it comes together into like a thick paste. As you can see, we've got our thick paste. And then we're gonna go in and we're gonna start adding our sauce together. To do this, we're gonna add our buttermilk. And we're going to whisk, whisk, whisk until all the lumps have smoothed out. This just takes a few minutes. And as you can see, it's starting to smooth out. And thicken. So we're gonna smooth it all the way out. And there we go. No more lumps. So I like to use buttermilk in my recipes, and the buttermilk just plays very well with the sharpness of the cheese because buttermilk has a natural tang to it. It's naturally acidic, so it'll complement the flavors of the cheese very well without using additional flavors and without using too much salt to season. And again, you must season your mac and cheese. Nobody wants noodles and cheese. Okay? So we're gonna add sour cream because again, sour cream adds that tang and lusciousness to your mac and cheese. And we're gonna whisk this down until it incorporates and gets super smooth. So our liquids have meshed very well in the pot together with our roux. So remember we had those clumps in there when we first made our roux with the butter and flour. They completely smoothed out with the addition of the buttermilk and the sour cream. So to this, we're gonna build our cheese sauce. So we're gonna go in with chunks of cheese. I like to use blocks of cheese. I try to stay away from shredded cheese as much as possible because they have like different anti-caking agents and things in them that are really not good for the body. So I just purchase the cheese in blocks and then I cut them up and add them to the pot. Another reason why you want to cut them up before you put them into the pot is because it helps to melt faster. So we have our New York cheddar, we have our Swiss, our extra sharp cheddar, and we're gonna go in with our shredded Parmesan and our mozzarella and provolone blend. So we're gonna get everybody in the pot and then start to mix. So everything starts to melt down. Keep in mind here with your cheese, we traditionally are accustomed to cheese, mac and cheese being an orange color. But if you use cheeses, especially like natural cheeses that don't have color to them, like the traditional orange cheddar cheese or the extra sharp cheddar cheese, then you really won't have that color. You'll still have the flavor, but your mac and cheese will be more on the white side than the orange side. So if you want orange, more of the orangey color in your mac and cheese, then you have to choose cheeses that have that orange color to them. So we're gonna get in there and get the cheeses all melted. So this takes a few moments to happen. So everything has to come to temp and melt down. We've got our cheese sauce all mixed up and incorporated well to our pan. We've added our pasta and some of the shredded cheese. I like to add the shredded cheese in for that stringy effect when you dip into that mac and cheese to have it stretch. So now what we're gonna do is add our cheese sauce to the noodles. And you wanna be careful here because it's pretty hot. So we take our time and just pour it over. Look at that lusciousness. Want to coat the noodles. This is our first coat. And again, remember, depending on the color of the cheese, your cheese sauce may be a lot lighter than the traditional orange cheese sauce. So we're gonna get in here and mix it all in. And you wanna make that macaroni and cheese sound. Y'all know what the macaroni and cheese sound is. Don't even play, okay? So you get into it. Y'all hear that? That undeniable macaroni and cheese sound. Don't tell my mother, y'all. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna smooth it out, and then I'm gonna add the last bit. Y'all hear that sound now? Okay. I'm not gonna play no more, all right? All right, so let's finish off our mac and cheese, get it prepared for the oven. So I have more of that cheese blend. This is a cheddar, provolone, and mozzarella cheese blend. And I'm just gonna add it to the top and be very generous with cheese. You don't be stingy with cheese for macaroni and cheese because this is the ultimate side dish. So we're gonna add that, and you want a good melting cheese. So this cheese blend melts extremely well, and it also browns and gets like nice and crunchy. I don't know, but if you're like me, I love that crunch on the top of my mac and cheese. We don't do breadcrumbs. We don't do any of that BS on top of our mac and cheese. We just go in with a good amount of cheese. And there we have it. Our mac and cheese ready for the oven. We're gonna bake our mac and cheese on 400 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until the cheese on the top is golden brown and delicious and everything is bubbling over and super, super yummy. So let's get it into the oven. Be sure to add a tray underneath your mac and cheese pan to just catch any bubbling cheese or anything that may bubble over from the pan, so that you don't have a big mess to clean up. So there we have it. I'm gonna let it go. Our mac and cheese is done. It's fresh out of the oven. I let it sit for a few moments. Once it came out of the oven, I baked this at 400 for about 30 to 35 minutes until the cheese was golden brown and crusty and everything set up nicely. You can hear the firmness, the crustiness of the cheese, and that's exactly what you want. So let's go ahead and dig into this. And if you want more recipes, like, share, and follow. Let's get a good pull. See that cheese? The perfect bite. Let's go in. All 7 cheeses. The buttermilk, sour cream, all singing through. So good. I hope you all enjoyed this time in the kitchen just as much as I did. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.